Hello everyone, welcome to today's channel. Today we will discuss the topic of differentiating prime numbers and composite numbers. So we'll start by understanding what is prime number and then we'll see what's composite number. So prime numbers. So what are prime numbers? Prime numbers are the number, or I can write it as a number having exactly two factors. So, and what are those factors? Two factor means the number 1 is one of the factor and the other factor is the number itself. So for example, 2. So think of 2. We can write 2 as 2 times 1. So 1 is one of the factor and itself 2 is one of the factor, right? There is no other way of writing or factoring out 2. Similarly, with 3, we can write 3 as 1 times 3. So 1 is one of the factor and then the number itself 3, which is one of its factor. Similarly, 5 is what? 1 times 5. So 1 and the number 5 itself. There is no other way of writing 5 as well. Similarly, 7 is what? 1 times 7. And then there are other numbers like 11 and 13 and so on. Like those are also prime numbers because they don't have any other factor other than 1 and then the number itself. So prime number have exactly two factors. So a number which have more than two factor are considered as composite number. So what's the definition of composite number? We can say numbers that have more than two factors, right? So we know exactly two factors means prime number, but more than two factor means composite number. That's how we differentiate prime numbers and composite number, and it's a very important topic. Uh, so we said composite number, yeah, the numbers which have more than two factor. So what's the example? Can you think of any examples? So let's say 16. 16 is composite. Why? Because 16 can be written as 1 times 16. That's one of the requirement of prime number, which 1 and the number itself. But that's not the only way we can write 16. So that's why it's not a prime number. It's a composite number because there are multiple ways of writing 16. We have more than two factors other than just 1 and 16. We can write it as like 2 times 8. So 2 and 8 is also 16. 4 times 4 is also 16. So therefore 16 is a composite number. Similarly, 18 is also a composite. All the even numbers are composite except this 2. Except a number 2, all the even numbers are composite number. That's something to note because all the even numbers has one factor which is 2. So 16 has 2, and for example if I'm taking 8, so 8 could be written as 2 times 4. So 2 is always a factor of even number, right? So even number are always composite except there's only one exception, which is 2 itself is a prime number. It's the smallest prime number. And then one other thing to note as well is, what about the number 1? Because we started from 2. We talked about 2 is a prime number, 3 is a prime number. We started from 2. But what about 3? So what is 3? Is it a prime or a composite? So if you have said none or neither, then you are correct. because 1 is neither a prime number nor a composite number, because 1 is its only factor. 1 can be written as 1 times 1 and nothing else, right? So it has only one factor, and prime number has the requirement of having two factors, which is 1 and then the number itself, and composite must have more than two factors. So what about 1? 1 is neither prime nor composite. It's because it has only one factor and it's itself, so it's not even considered as a factor. So yeah, that's why 1 is neither prime or composite. And that was the introduction to prime number and composite number. There are other topics in detail, which is basically prime factorization, more related to prime numbers, which we would see in later videos. So thank you for watching and take care until next time.